All right, welcome to the CIY Capital recap. It's Tuesday, March 17th, and today the NASDAQ felt like a total battlefield. We saw this crazy tug-of-war happening right at the 25,000 mark. So let's dig into the key levels and figure out what they mean for the huge Fed decision coming up tomorrow.
So if you just look at the final score, the NASDAQ 100 closed up 0.5%. On the surface, that looks pretty calm, right? But trust me, underneath that one number, there was a serious battle brewing between two massive forces. And the winner? Well, that's still very much undecided.
The real story today was this classic showdown. On one side of the rope, you had all this hype coming out of NVIDIA's keynote. I mean, Jensen Huang is out there talking about $1 trillion in orders. That just lit a fire under anything related to AI. But pulling back hard on the other side, Fed fear. Their two-day meeting just kicked off, and let's be honest, nobody wants to make a big move until they hear what the Fed has to say tomorrow. Okay, so with that as the backdrop, let's actually look at the battlefield. For tomorrow's session, and this is especially true with the Fed on deck, these are really the only three lines you need on your chart. Let's start at the top with what we call the ceiling.
The ceiling you need to be watching is 25,128.25. Now, today's high got pretty close, topping out at 25,117. This is the key spot where sellers could show up in force and just shut down any further rally. You're going to want to keep this number on your screen.
Now let's move on down to the middle of the range and talk about the magnet. See, big round numbers like this have this kind of psychological pull on the market. They draw the price toward them, almost like gravity, especially right before a big news event. And that magnet today is 25,000. It's no accident that the market basically closed right on this level. I mean, this just perfectly shows you the indecision out there. The market is coiled up like a spring, just sitting here, waiting for that Fed catalyst tomorrow afternoon.
And finally, let's look at the most important line in the sand for the bulls. This is the floor. If the buyers want to stay in control of this thing, they absolutely, positively have to protect this level.
That floor is at 24,728.25, and that is not some random number. That was the exact low of today's session. If the bulls lose this line, we could see a very fast retest of last week's lows. They have to defend it.
The NASDAQ doesn't trade in a vacuum, so we got to check on the neighbors. The 10-year yield actually ticked down a bit, oil pulled back, and the VIX, that's the market's fear gauge, it dropped a solid 13%. All of this basically gave tech stocks some much-needed breathing room today.
So with the huge catalyst like the Fed coming up tomorrow, how do you even trade it without just gambling? Well, you need a blueprint. As Ron Rose teaches, it really comes down to just three things. Know your entry, know your stop if you're wrong, and know your target. We don't guess, especially not on news-driven days like this.
And that plan, it has to work for you. It doesn't matter if you're just starting out, if you're a seasoned pro, or if you're managing a small account. Having a personalized plan is what separates consistent results from just pure guesswork. One size fits none.
And really, that's the whole idea behind the coaching at CIY Capital. It's not some cookie-cutter system. Ron works with you, one-on-one, to build a trading plan that actually fits your schedule, your risk tolerance, and, your actual goals.
And that's our look at the NQ. Just a reminder, this is for educational purposes only, not financial advice. To get these recaps every day, head on over to CIYcapital.com, or you can follow @RonRoseTrading on Instagram. We'll see you tomorrow.